right. Speaking of picks, let's go back into the G5 well here. Going to start with best bets for week number 4. I've been waiting patiently, hiding in the weeds, waiting to fade our favorite, Butch Jones and the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Here we go. Old Dominion laying 6 against Arkansas State. And really, I mean, Arkansas State had that great opener against Grambling. They played a good 20 minutes against Ohio State, but the real Arkansas defense showed up last week against Memphis. They gave up 44 points, 547 total yards, 0 turnovers, and just 2 sacks. And here comes Old Dominion, who's played a very challenging schedule. They beat Virginia Tech. They lose to ECU. They lose at the gun and a game-winning field goal from UVA. So they are within a hair having a 2-1 start. And I think you're getting a discount here because of that. I think the public is looking at Old Dominion 1-2 against an Arkansas State team that's 1-2. They are not on the same playing field, in my opinion. Allie Jennings III, teaming up with Zach Kuntz, who finally appeared last week, had a really nice game. I think when you pepper in the ODU defense, which despite its schedule has been 31st in red zone defense, they're generating a lot of turnovers, 2.7 per game. They've been great in special teams, particularly in punt coverage. Ethan Sanchez, their place kicker, has been perfect all season long. I was thrilled to see this under 10 and underneath the key number of 7. I'm going to go ahead with the Monarchs here. I know I don't have to talk you into rooting for the Wolfpack, but is there any reason not to play a bet against Arkansas State and Butch Jones?
Are you riding with the Wolfpack, Breeze? Welcome aboard. No, I agree with you. And you know, I tried to fade Arkansas State last week. Obviously, they did manage to cover against Memphis, but they got outgained 547 to 370. So I don't think it was anything. I don't think anything I said was about Arkansas State was wrong. I just think Memphis's defense isn't as good as I thought it might be able to be. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm all aboard. ODU, Wolfpack for life.
All right. How about you? Best bet for?
I'm going to the Sonny Dykes Bowl. I'm taking TCU. I believe it's -2 at BetMGM now. When I bet it, TCU was the dog. I got a money line at plus money, but I still honestly like it up to 2.5. Sonny Dykes' revenge game. He left SMU, take the job at TCU. I think TCU is very good personally. They mixed in freshman Chandler Morris and Max Duggan at quarterback. Duggan's obviously a senior. Morris got hurt, but honestly, I think Duggan's better. I just think he knows the offense better. It just looks smoother when he's in. He's completing 78% of his passes. He's got 5 touchdowns, no interceptions through the air. Sure, they lost Zach Evans, but I feel like he never really lived up to the hype anyways, 5-star prospect. And now they're just doing it by committee. Kendre Miller, he was better than Evans at times last year. They got Amani Bailey in from Louisiana. They run Wildcat quarterback Sam Jackson. I don't know if his middle name starts with an L, but I hope it does. And like I said, they get it done by committee. They're averaging 227 rushing yards per game. They're averaging almost 7 yards per carry. They're 8th in the country in rushing explosiveness. And we saw against this SMU defense, Maryland, who's not the best running team, they ran for 225 yards and 2 scores last week. Their lead back averaged 9.4 yards per carry. When SMU has the ball, all they do is throw it. And TCU is 8th in the country in pass play success rate on defense. We talked about a lot TCU hiring Joseph Gillespie as their defensive coordinator from Tulsa. And not surprisingly for anyone who's watched Tulsa, who consistently ranked in the top 25 in havoc, TCU is now 2nd in the country in defensive havoc. So they are going to be able to just pin their ears back and get after Tanner Mordecai, who, and maybe this bet's a little bit of bias because we were on the over and SMU last week. So maybe I'm just angry because they had 2 drives that they could score. It would have cashed both of them. And he just couldn't get it done late in the game. And anyone who watched that game saw Rashee Rice is an absolute freak. He is so good, but he's kind of all they have. When they needed a completion, they threw it to him at every single possession. He had 11 catches, 19 targets. All their other receivers and tight ends combined had 20 targets. And, Tre'Vius Hodges-Tomlinson, they had transferred Josh Newton. They're 2 great corners that TCU has that can take away Rice or at least limit him. And like I said, you saw they just don't have everyone. Mordecai was just looking him down the entire time. I just like this TCU team. I just think, I didn't like what I saw from SMU. I think they're very one-dimensional. I'll take the Horned Frogs in the Sonny Dykes revenge game.
I mean, the proof's in the pudding with Gillespie. He played against Mordecai head-to-head, as the defensive coordinator at Tulsa last year. 2 interceptions, just 1 touchdown, and he was able to put him under pressure. And that's really the name of the game when it comes to SMU. They've done a great job in the Mordecai era protecting him. But when he's under pressure and you take away that number one option, you're going to see a lot of padding the football, some panic throws, some sacks, negative yardage. So I'm with you on this one. This is a game I circled. I think that it makes sense to go ahead and play Dykes in this spot. And I'm surprised it's actually, stayed under that key number of 3. So I think there's plenty of value there.
SMU opened as the favorite.
Which, to be honest, I don't really see. You needed to have kind of an emphatic performance against Maryland for me to respect SMU, and to consider them to be a little bit more than what they've been on paper the last couple of years, which essentially has been beating the brakes off of bad teams. And then when they face teams with a live defense, they struggle. And I think TCU certainly has that in this game.